Check one. Check one. Good evening. Welcome to the University of Toledo College of Nursing State of the College Address. My name is Kathleen Mitchell, and I serve as the Associate Dean of Student Affairs for the College of Nursing. I'm honored this evening to introduce the Dean of the College of Nursing, Dr. Linda Lewandowski. Dr. Lewandowski is completing her fourth year with the College of Nursing. In addition to her role as Dean, she also serves as the Vice Provost for Health Affairs for Interprofessional and Community Partnerships. Dr. Lewandowski. I'm honored this evening to introduce the Dean of the College of Nursing, Dr. Linda Lewandowski.
Thanks, Kathy.
Dr.
Thank you for all
Lewandowski
joining
is
us this
completing
afternoon
her
on one
fourth
of
year
these
with the College
really
of
not very
Nursing.
great weather days
In
that makes
addition
us
to her
really
role as
happy that we've
Dean, she also
perfected
serves
the
as
art
the
of
Vice
having
Provost for
virtual
Health
live
Affairs
streaming.
for
So
Interprofessional
happy to have
and
most of
Community
you out there
Partnerships. Dr.
safe at
Lewandowski.
home
I'm honored
in
this evening
wherever you
to
are
introduce
out of
the
this
Dean of
weather.
the
So
College of Nursing, Dr.
for
Linda
this evening, I
Lewandowski.
want to start
Dr.
out by
Lewandowski
saying
is
that,
completing
first of
her
all,
fourth
the
year
state of
with
the College
College of Nursing.
of the University of
In addition to
Toledo
her
College
role
of
as
Nursing is
Dean,
very
she
strong.
also serves as the Vice Provost
We've
for
had
Health
quite
Affairs
an
for
exciting and
Interprofessional
challenging
and
most of you
Community
out there
Partnerships. Dr.
safe
Lewandowski.
at home. As we know,
Wherever
COVID-19
you are
pandemic
out
is
of
still
this
very
weather,
much with
College
us.
of Nursing, Dr.
And
Lewandowski.
we started out this year with virtual
by
classes
saying
that
that
first of all, now we're
college
back in full swing, came back this fall. So we've had quite an exciting to weather all of these here. Still having the mask mandate, but COVID-19 changing pretty much with us. Been an exciting year. We started out this year with virtual classes. The vaccines came into play, which has created a lot of interesting clashes of science and politics, but we're certainly excited to say that the vast majority of all of our students are vaccinated. We're very happy to, okay, I'm gonna have to move this up because it can't be there. We're having a little logistical technical challenge here so I can see what I'm talking about. All right, sorry, one little moment. Can this go? All right, this is gonna be tricky. I might just look over here. How about if I do that? Can I look up here? Yeah, that's better. Okay, we did practice this, but obviously that didn't work. Many of our students we know have been out on the front lines of battling the COVID epidemic, working short-staffed, working very diligently to try to save lives, literally, and we've had noticed that. We've had an impact on our enrollment because we know that our nurses need to be out there really taking care of patients, and then we'll get them back into school. Another kind of reality of this year has been financial challenges throughout society relative to COVID and a lot of the changes. We're undergoing a new budget model planning here at the university. We've all been dealing with a lot of important issues that we're starting to grapple with in a more serious way than maybe we have in the past related to systemic racism and disparities. Lots of social and political issues influencing higher education as well as our daily lives. And here at the U Toledo campus, we've had an exciting new installation of a new university president, Dr. Gregory Postal. But despite a lot of the challenges, we've had a really successful year too. Our faculty and students really have risen to the occasion in relation to the pandemic, and I'll talk about some of the ways they've done that in a few minutes. We've had new programs implemented here at the college. Our RN to BSN program is now fully Quality Matter certified. Our new graduate entry master's program is well underway. Our APRN nurse practitioner specialties continue to move online, making them more accessible to a wider audience of nurses. Our new D&P curriculum is approved and underway. We have a new nurse executive pathway. We've integrated into our faculty and staff some new people, increased faculty publications and presentations, which is such a kudo to our faculty because they're doing that under such hard conditions here in the COVID time, but yet they've managed to continue with their scholarship. Our students have been very active in the community, and you'll see some of the ways. And we've also made continued progress in marketing, social media, our development mission, and in alumni relations. So first, I want to really take a moment to give incredible kudos and to just really brag a little bit about the immense contribution that our nursing students, medical students, pharmacy students, and PAs too have really contributed to our community. Led by Dr. Susan Batten, you'll see her over here with the governor and President Postal, and the governor came on a site visit to one of our vaccine clinics. Susan has led an incredible interprofessional team. The team has administered over 40,000 doses of the COVID vaccine, which is just really amazing contribution to our community. And for the students, Dr. Batten shared with us some of her reflections for the students, that we knew it was a life-saving effort, and many of the students spoke of being part of history as they really took on this role to help make our community safe. Some students stated that the most meaningful part of their student journey has been this experience of giving back to the community by learning and volunteering to administer the COVID vaccine. What the students learned by working with the public during a very tense and terrifying time, she went on, is beyond words. Over 1,000 students now understand what it takes to mount and sustain a massive health campaign, and we all win, the community and the student learning. And I just can't tell you how prideful, but we have such great pride in our students and in our faculty for making such a difference in our community. We had to say goodbye to a few people this year. Dr. Susan Sahaki, who has been the director of our BSN pre-licensure program, retired this year, and she's having a great time. And we also had another important person who wasn't exactly a member of our College of Nursing staff, but she felt like that. Darlene Jambor, who worked with us for a really long time, making sure our building was safe and clean and an environment that was really conducive to learning and working. And after a really long time here at UT, Darlene retired, so we wanted to celebrate that too. And we also got to say hello to a number of new people. We had, I think we had a contest that if your last name didn't start with S, we weren't going to hire you this year in the faculty ranks, because interestingly, Sanchez is first person alphabetically, and they all start with S. So that was, I don't know what that means, but that's an interesting observation. So Dr. Rosario Sanchez joined us from New Jersey. We're very excited. She has a lot of experience in human trafficking. She's a SANE nurse, and we look forward to her contributions. Dr. Janice Servick joined us as the director of our pre-licensure BSN program, taking Dr. Sahaki's role. Returning to us, Dr. Angie Scardina, who worked with us in the past. She has come back and is now our APRN track director, is just doing amazing things with the APRN faculty. We're excited to have her here. We're also excited about a return of Dr. Heidi Schenk, who was with us in the past as a BSN director, and now is our DNP program director and really helping us to implement the new curriculum and really get our new program underway. Our newest recruit is Dr. Navdeep Singh, who is currently a visiting instructor. In the summer, he will turn into an assistant professor. And he comes to us newly graduated from Wayne State University with his PhD, and we're really excited about his background in acute care, nurse practitioner, and pain management. So we have a great crew. We also added some really important key staff people. Annette Durdell joined us in the dean's office as our secretary receptionist. Jackie Cozier came on board as an undergraduate nursing advisor for us. Baxter Chambers joined us to cover our BSN and research and scholarship, associate dean, honors, and that continuing nursing education programs. And Ohana Tajiri, I practiced that, TJ, And I'm going to get that down really well. Joined us just about a week ago as our new business manager. And so we're very excited to have all of our new staff on board too. Okay. All right, we're not going. Challenges here. So some of our big focus areas right now is enrollment. Enrollment's a challenge for many colleges and universities across the country. We know there's a decreasing demographic of high school students. There's increased competition for us from other programs. We know that the COVID surges, as I mentioned, led to this being a difficult time for bedside nurses, and maybe not such a great time for them to also fit in school. So we hope that we'll be getting some of those nurses back as the times kind of stabilize in terms of COVID. We know that cost has been an issue during times of financial struggles, and we're looking at a lot of new exciting scholarshiping partnerships with some of our partners. And we just know that mental health issues and burnout across the board. I read a new Harvard Business Review article that said 77% of people in the workplace are experiencing mental health and burnout issues. That's like an amazing statistic. And we know that for students, used to be financial issues, but now mental health issues are the #1 reason why students are dropping out and not really doing well in college right now. So we have a lot of challenges that are affecting our enrollment and retention, and we're up to them and have a lot of things that we're doing to try to counter this. Okay, this is like that. Some of the opportunities that we have in terms of enrollment is, as I said, some new partnerships that we'll be announcing soon with our partners. We're doing a lot of increased visibility and marketing. We're looking at how we can make our programs, some of them more accessible and better for students fitting into their lives. One of the programs that we've heard we would like a part-time option in is our graduate entry master's program. And so this fall, we will actually be accepting students part-time into this accelerated intense program, having our second pathway into nursing. We're going to be doing some rocket nursing camps this summer for high school students. We have a mentoring program for our pre-nursing students that we're really strengthening and getting underway to increase our retention. And we're also looking at implementing a new BSN to DNP pathway. We know that some of our students come into our college knowing they want to be a nurse practitioner and they're good students. So we're going to make it very easy for folks who have a BSN to go all the way through to get their DNP and their nurse practitioner. And so we're looking at ways of making that. This is a slide that's got a whole lot of stuff on it that I'm not going to read. I just want to give you an idea of the breadth of things that we're doing in terms of enrollment and recruitment. It's a very serious focus for us, and we're doing a lot of different things, and I certainly am very grateful to Kathy Mitchell and her whole Department of Student Affairs for all of the efforts that we're doing in conjunction with our enrollment management folks at the university. A new challenging thing that's happening that many of the deans, well, all the deans have been working on great amount of time here in the last few weeks, months and weeks, is our new budget model for the university. We started out talking about having a RCM, responsibility centered budget. Now we're looking at an incentive-based budgeting model, not quite as totally centralized. And it allows for greater transparency by detailing the revenue generated by each college as well as expenditures. So we're excited to look at how we can implement this model. Each college has formed a budget advisory committee to advise the dean on budget matters, to really help us look for areas for growth. You know, in times of budget crunches, we often tend to focus on budget cuts and what can we cut. And we're very focused here in the College of Nursing of saying, well, we're pretty lean, we don't have a lot to cut, but we do have a lot of opportunities to grow. So how can we grow and look at new revenue enhancing strategies that can bring more money into the college in this new model? So our budget advisory committee members are here. They include administrators, tenured faculty, untenured faculty, professional staff, support staff, budget manager. We have really a very representative group. So getting started on working with those. Yep, still not working. So let's talk a little bit about the BSN track. You think that's going to work? Okay. 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 There we are. Thank you. So good to have technical assistance here. I appreciate that. In our BSN pre-licensure track, we've added, let's see, we're in our third year maybe, a direct admit option. In the past, we had admitted students into pre-nursing, and then they had to apply to get entry into the nursing major. Now we're saying if you're a really good student in high school, you're probably going to get in anyway. And so if you meet our GPA and you also don't necessarily have to take tests if you have a high GPA. So you can just be admitted to our college. You have to maintain a certain GPA of 3.5, but then you're automatically admitted to the nursing major. And so for some students and families who really don't want the risk of coming to a college and not knowing if they're going to get into nursing, this is the sure thing. And we have had a lot of interest in our direct admit option. Our program is, as many of you know, 2 years of prereqs done on our main campus at U Toledo, and then 2 years of nursing courses that are here on the health science campus. We have a state-of-the-art concept-based nursing curriculum, and we're going to be embarking with every other college of nursing in the country on integrating the new AACN essentials that will really change the paradigm of nursing education, being a focus on critical thinking and competency-based assessment. So we're excited about jumping into that new upgrade of new educational techniques that we'll be integrating into all of our programs, and including the BSN. We have had some very strong service learning and study abroad opportunities. We're going to get back to that again. It's just a little matter of time, but we're excited about that opportunity that we have for our students. We have very robust relationships, and we're going to be announcing some new programs in our off semester for employment and education, sponsored by our clinical partners, ProMedica and UTMC. And perhaps some other clinical partners also. So stay tuned for those. We really do a lot to help our students find jobs, but right now, if you're a nurse, you have a lot about your pick. You have a lot of options, and so we have a 100% placement rate for all of our BSN grads. We're getting ready for the change in the NCLEX licensing exam. It's called the Next Generation or Next Gen test for NCLEX. And in preparation for that, we've changed from our NCLEX prep with the ATI company to the Nurse Think company. And this is a series of activities, of practice tests, of critical thinking opportunities that are really designed to help prepare our students for clinical practice, but also to pass the new Next Gen NCLEX exam. Our students who came in this fall will be taking the new exam in 2023. So we are very seriously looking at how we're going to make sure that students do well on the new exam. We actually had a visit from the Nurse Think founder, Tim Bristol, who came at the same time we were doing our Christmas outing to the Toledo Zoo. So we have a little bit of color from the zoo here to share with you. One of our hallmarks of the U Toledo healthcare endeavor is that we have over 14 different clinical specialties in the healthcare field that we educate students for. And in the fall, we have a very unique opportunity. This is the kickoff celebration of over 600 students in our IPE team. And all of our students are integrated with medicine and social work and OT and PT and pharmacy and all the other specialties. in small groups, working with faculty, really learning about the roles of each of the disciplines and learning about team-based care. So we're very excited about our interprofessional opportunities here, and we continue to increase those. We're also, this is another point of pride. We have a lot of points of pride that I can share with you in our College of Nursing. Our clinical lab associates are also points of pride. While our faculty were mostly at home, virtual, we were able to get our students back in-person lab earlier since July of 2020. And our CLAs, while we were out for a few months, were very creative about how they can teach students to do clinical skills using things that they have at home, using their teddy bears, using their family and friends who were quarantined with them. And then they came back at a time that was, really iffy for being out in the world. And so we're just very happy that we have such a dedicated group of clinical lab associates who teach our students all of the skills. And this is a community service project that they did, collecting toys for tots at Christmas. Another shining star for us is our honors program in conjunction with the Jessup Honors College. We have had a phenomenal increase in our honor students under the directorship of Dr. Eileen Walsh. When I came here, 4.5 years ago, I think we had maybe 4 or 5 students in the honors program, and now we have 63. And so that's just a testament to Dr. Walsh's work and for really looking at how we can facilitate for our students who want that honors experience and want to earn an honors medallion that just gives them the extra edge in going to graduate schools and gives them an opportunity to participate in evidence-based practice and research, to co-author manuscripts, go to presentations, receive really competitive first-rate nursing positions and graduate school admissions. They get priority for first dibs on clinical placement. So a lot of advantages to being in the honors program that really give a great additional edge and grounding to some of our students who are interested in that. We also have continued onward with our white coat ceremonies. For many of us who were nurses back in my day, we did this capping ceremony. We don't do caps anymore, as you know. But now the white coat ceremony has become the ceremonial, symbolic entry into the nursing profession for our students. So as they hit the clinical time as BSN 1s, as we call them in the major, we do have a white coat ceremony. We do it every semester for our BSN entry or BSN students, as we admit 3 times a year to our BSN program. We also have a special ceremony for our graduate entry, MSNs, our GEM students. And this past year started as a white coat ceremony for our APRN students becoming nurse practitioners at their request, and it's been great. So in June last year, we were still virtual, and so we got pretty good at doing virtual ceremonies. We had a live streaming opportunity, kind of like we're doing today, where those of us participating are live in the auditorium or classroom, but all of the students sent in for us their own little snippet video of being cloaked, getting their white coat from family members. Sarah had hers brought by her dog. Some students just sort of cloaked themselves, but we had a wide range of places that students chose and people to cloak them. And so we did that virtually a number of times, but then in September, we were back. And so we had our first graduate entry master's program in last September. And it was great to see students back, not quite as creative about the different cloaking, but it's great to have all of the students present, getting their white coat and then reciting the Nightingale Pledge. So this was our September BSN cohort. This was their fun picture. And then we had our white coat ceremony this January. Well, this one was kind of interesting because one of the things that we do is really promote our students being active in a lot of different activities in the university. We have students who are in the band, cheerleading team, dance team, tennis, volleyball, student leaders, the president of the Graduate Student Association on campus, and vice president with both nurses. So this year, though, we have a women's basketball player. And I got a text a few weeks before this from Trish Cullup, our women's basketball coach, saying, Linda, I have a problem because our mutual student, Hannah, has a home game, and we're like, and they're doing like great. They're like, leading. They're like about undefeated. This is like a Raleigh crackerjack team. But it's the same night as her white coat, and what are we going to do? So we came up with a very creative idea. So I said, well, since she can't be at the white coat, let's bring the white coat to her. And Trish and the basketball athletic team were very amenable to our new plan. We made the basketball a nurse appreciation night and really invited all of our area nurses. They got half-price tickets. Some of the hospital systems gave their nurses tickets. And we had a really recognize all nurses night. And then we also did a white coat ceremony. Dr. Cervic cloaked Hannah Navrosky here in the middle of the court. And then we projected the Nightingale Pledge, and all of the nurses in attendance who wanted to kind of reaffirm their pledge were able to do that. It was an incredible experience. It was very meaningful to a lot of people in the community. And I think for us, we really looked at, this was a great example of how we try to go the extra mile here at Toledo to really be student-centered and to try to really make sure that all of our students have the best experience possible. So as we got closer to graduation, we had one cohort, our fall 2021 graduating class, who had the unique experience, as Michelle shared, about having their whole nursing curriculum take place during a pandemic. And we shared her quote because it kind of just affirmed to us that, okay, there were challenges, but our students made it through, and they found some silver linings and ended up being very positive and still having the clinical experiences that they needed, even during these very challenging times. So they were able to go through, and this was our nursing convocation in December with our very august looking group of faculty taking part in the convocation and pinning ceremony, and then followed by our university commencement that was again back in action, live in Savage Arena with masks, but not social distancing. So we were kind of getting closer and closer to getting back to, quote, normal. Let's talk a little bit about our RN to BSN track. Program director is Dr. Colleen Quinlan. We are very proud that our RN to BSN track was one of the first competency-based online RN to BSN programs in the region. In this program is very individualized. Students can go at their own pace. They can start a new course anywhere in the first 9 weeks of a semester. They have to finish it by the end of the semester, but they can really take one at a time. They can take more courses. They can be active when they want to, and then they can take some time off if they have things to do or things get busy at work or they have their daughter's wedding or whatever. So we have enlarged this program to not only incorporate individual students, but we have a unique program with Owens Community College that we call our dual enrollment program. Other programs are doing this too, but for us it was pretty unique in this area. Students from Owens can be duly admitted. They get a Rocket card. They can get the perks of being at a four-year school, like getting into athletic events, concerts, library, etc., while they're still in their associate degree program, and then they seamlessly move into our RN to BSN program. We also have dual enrollment agreements with Saddleback College in Southern California, and we're working on a similar arrangement with Monroe County Community College and several other colleges to really facilitate for nurses a very seamless entry into a very individually based RN to BSN program. One of the things that really is unique about our program is the fact that we're now able to say we have all 10 courses in our RN to BSN program QM certified. For those of you who are kind of old enough to remember, I kind of look at QM certification as like the good housekeeping seal of approval, if some of you remember back when that was in the day. But Quality Matters really is a gold standard in demonstrating quality and in continuous improvement in online learning. University of Toledo really has embraced, if we're going to do online learning, we want to do it well. And so Quality Matters certification really helps us evaluate and know that we have the best kind of online courses that we can offer. U Toledo is a major adopter of QM certification in our philosophy of excellence. We're number 7 in the world for the number of QM certified online courses and number 1 in Ohio. So we take the quality of our education very seriously. And this is a great mark of excellence. We also have the opportunity and great faculty who are and partnerships who are able to help us achieve some grants. This is one of the grants that we wanted to feature from this year. Dr. Marty Sexton led a team that had folks from here at U Toledo College of Nursing in collaboration with partners at Owens Community College and ProMedica Health Systems. The goal of this project was to increase the enrollment in both U Toledo and OCC nursing programs to really increase the number of nurses available in our area, particularly nurses of color and students who might not be seen as traditional students, some adult students who go to community colleges. We really wanted to make life easier for them and to really facilitate their nursing education. So with scholarship support from ProMedica, the students who are able to enter this program complete their ADN at Owens Community College, and then their RN to BSN at U Toledo. So we're really excited that we'll not only increase the nursing workforce in Northwest Ohio and the diversity, but also help generate some more preceptors for us to help train the next generation. Our graduate entry Master of Science in Nursing, our GEM program, director is Dr. Kelly Phillips. Previously, we had a clinical nurse leader CNL program. We've now undergone a real revision of our curriculum and upgrade of our curriculum, made it very timely and very accessible for individuals who have a degree in another field and they decide that they want to be a nurse. So this is our second pathway into nursing. Our BSN is the first pathway, and the graduate entry is the second pathway. So if you have a bachelor's degree in any discipline, you have to do some prereqs, and then you can decide to come into our program. What I'd heard from many people who kind of talked to me is that if you ever do that part-time, I really want to come in. I really want to be a nurse, but I can't stop my full-time job to do this intensive program. So we heard that enough times, and this year we decided is the year. And so we're now going to be admitting part-time students into our graduate entry master's program. We've had a lot of interest in it already, and we're really excited to be able to make accessible to people who really want to be a nurse, but also have to work and have their other life responsibilities, other adult learners. So we will be enacting not only our full-time, we have 101 students currently enrolled in our full-time program, but we'll also be looking at the part-time option. So this fall or this spring, our transition will be complete. We will be graduating our last cohort of our clinical nurse leader students, and all of the students will be in our new GEM track. We just graduated the last students who were in our nurse educator MSN or certificate program. This was a program that we felt was low enrolled. It was low enrolled, and we have a lot of options for folks here in our area in other universities to get this specialty. So we've suspended this program, and we are going to really put our efforts looking at our clinically based master's programs and maybe coming up with a couple new ones that you'll be hearing about. So leading our APRN programs now, as I said, Dr. Angie Scardina started this fall. We have admitted our first students to the adult gero acute care specialty over the past year. And we're looking at this fall will be a new option in our DNP program in nurse executive track. And we also have a master's track for that. Right now, our psych nurse practitioner and FNP programs seem to be the most popular, but our pediatric nurse practitioner and our adult gero primary care and acute care programs are also pretty popular. We are, at this point, we've done major curriculum revisions of all of the programs pretty much since I've been here, except the APRN program, and this is their turn. And it comes at a really good time because not only do the new AACN Essentials prescribe some different standards for education at the advanced practice level, the new NOLF guidelines, the National Organization of Nurse Practitioner Faculty, that set the standards for nurse practitioner education are proposing some new changes. One of the things they're looking at is changing the number of required clinical hours from 500 to 750 nationally. So that will certainly give us some other opportunities to look for some more clinical placements. We have excellent certification pass rates, about 100% most years, or one or two, but pretty much we've been consistently with 100% certification for all of our nurse practitioner programs. So we're excited about that. A new area we're also going to be looking at are kind of identifying specialty or niche areas. One that we're talking about is looking at our adult gero primary care and adding in additional specialization in conjunction with Chris Brickman and Joan Duggan, some physician faculty in the College of Medicine. Adding some continuing education maybe in infectious diseases, but also having a real focus on providing primary care in extended care facilities and nursing homes, which is an important role for gero nurse practitioners these days. So, and we continue to always look at other interprofessional collaborative opportunities. Okay, there we go. Another thing we've been doing is pairing undergraduate pre-licensure students, honor students with the APRNs to give them some peer mentoring, to help them really look at their pathway forward into graduate school. We are looking at using the simulation center. We've always had our undergraduate students in the simulation center, but we're now really adding more experiences and interprofessional experiences for our APRN students. We're moving to an all online offering of our programs. We really think this is, and the feedback we have is that it really facilitates students' accessibility. They are busy nurses out there and really having courses that they're able to do at home in their own time in between their work schedules and family schedules and things. Plus it increases our geographical reach, and so we're making our programs more available. Expanding our clinical placements, and we're very proud. We've had some difficulties over time, as most nurse practitioner programs have, finding clinical placements. Okay, we're not always right Johnny on the spot, but we are opening new opportunities all the time, and we have 100% of placement for all of our APRN students, so we're happy about that, as are our students. Our DNP program is a totally new, revised, totally renovated, revised, changed program. So any of you who know our old program, this isn't it. We have a new program director. We have a totally new curriculum with less credits that make us more competitive. We have new focus areas, and we've spent the last year and a half or so getting approvals from the university, from the state, from the HLC, our regional accrediting organization for the university, and we've got all the program approvals that there can be. And so this fall, we have been implementing our curriculum. We're really looking at how we're rolling out these new nurse educator program courses. Our nurse educator nurse executive, my mistake, executive nurse program at the DNP level will be focused on CNOs and top level administration, and we're looking at having a master's version of organizational leadership for those who are just starting out in the leadership world. Where we were able to have the initial draft of, or actually a pretty final draft of the essentials document from the AACN saying what the curriculum changes are going to be when we develop this program. So we're very fortunate that our program already in the DNP program is in sync with the new AACN essentials. So we have a very state-of-the-art curriculum ahead of a lot of people who are just having to get in and start doing the changes that we've already done. A lot of things happening with our students, and I'm so excited to tell you about some of the things. Our students are just really achievers. They're active in the community. They're active in leadership. I've mentioned some of the things already that they're involved in on the state and national level: athletic teams, cheerleading, dance team, conferences, publications, our CLAR Leadership Academy. We've had some students on the homecoming courts in the last couple of years, and also the coveted ROTC Silver Sword Award, which is a high recognition in the ROTC world. We were proud to just graduate, but having a presidential ambassador. The presidential ambassadors here at the university are a very select group of high achieving students, and Caleb Lewis was one of our presidential ambassadors. You can see him here with President Postal and myself. Our students have really gotten national and statewide acclaim for their activities. They've achieved the Stellar School Award from the National Student Nurses Association and State Chapter of the Year for 9 years in a row from the Ohio Student Nurses Association, really recognizing their work in the community and leadership. So we're very proud of our students and all of that they contribute. Oops, I went too fast. All right, I'm going backward. Oh, this is, sorry. One of the things that they participate in is Tent City. These are some of our students looking at healthcare, providing healthcare for the homeless. And our BSN 4s took part in Tent City, as they usually do. We also had students who had in a couple different courses, projects fighting food insecurity, which they identified as affecting 26% of college students today. So our BSN 4 students, again, collected food donations for the U Toledo Food Pantry. And then in another course, they assembled over 100 meat packages at the Seagate Food Bank that were distributed to families in recovery and veterans. This is our OTC commissioning ceremony for our now Army nurse, Lieutenant Hallie Broski. We're very proud of our students who are in Army ROTC. We sometimes have military students in Air Force ROTC come out from Bowling Green. But we have a very long-standing and very positive relationship with the Army ROTC and routinely have students as part of that program and really work with their requirements for their military as well as what we need to do here. So just to show you some of the breadth of our activities, one of our students, Joanne Mercer, recently was on Jeopardy! She was unfortunately on at the same time that Amy Schneider, you know, the long rating champion, if some of you are Jeopardy! Fans. So she made, as we could say, a pretty respectable showing, but wasn't really able to beat Amy. But she was, that was a great opportunity for us to see our students in action. Talk a little bit about research and scholarship. We have a very active partnership with ProMedica Health. We're very proud of that. We're entering our 4th year. Pictured is a picture of the Ronald McDonald Caramobile. We obtained funding after, man, it was like took us 2 years or more. We started this project before the pandemic and things got really slowed. A 3-way collaboration between the U Toledo College of Nursing, the Ebi Children's Hospital at ProMedica and Ronald McDonald of Northwest Ohio. We put in a grant for a Ronald McDonald Caremobile from Ronald McDonald Global, and it's about a $500,000 grant, and we were finalized on this grant in the fall, and it's now under construction. We get to have some say in how the Caremobile is constructed. Ours will be focused on infant and child health in Northwest Ohio. And we're very excited about this collaboration. We'll be having opportunities for our nurse practitioner students to be precepted, for our undergraduate students to do a lot of great projects, and we can't wait to have the wheels down next summer on this project. We also are very active in looking at evidence-based practice and research projects that our students do in conjunction with staff. We are going to be talking more about some scholarships that will be coming forth. We have a lot of focus in collaborating on what are the most pressing problems they're seeing in their clinical areas that our students can really address in their projects and thus have really meaningful real-world learning experiences while they're also contributing to the clinical practice arena. So we do a joint research day. We have some pilot grants that are available, $1 million over 5 years, which was granted to us at the beginning of our partnership. So we're in year 4 of that, and we'll have 1 more year of funding. We also have an evolving partnership with UTMC. We're excited to welcome the new CNO, Kurt Klass. We have clinical placements, of course, at UTMC and ProMedica and Mercy, and a lot of different areas here, or clinical partners here in the area. We're looking at announcing, hopefully soon, a new program for students in their semester off. We're exploring some joint nurse educator, clinical instructor positions, and a lot of great collaborations. So stay tuned for hearing more about those kind of activities. I want to highlight some of our faculty. Dr. Eileen Walsh was recognized as a 2021 President's Award. She received the President's Award for Excellence in Creative and Scholarly Activity. You can see her with President Postal and Provost Bjorkman, and we're very proud at her recognition for her career of excellence in scholarship. Another shining example for us is our 2021 Outstanding Alumnus, Dr. Debbie Samsel. She is a well-known expert in the area of telehealth and technology-based clinical care. She's working on a drone for delivery of medications and healthcare supplies. She's just a very dynamic educator, cutting-edge future thinker, and we're very excited that we were able to honor her, and we also are looking forward to continued collaboration with her and consulting with our simulation center and some of our technology-based educational offerings. We held our 14th annual Dorothy Hussein Distinguished Lectureship, again focused on important issue of our day. This one was focused on sensitive, equitable care for LGBTQ plus populations. We had a fantastic guest speaker and a panel of individuals who spoke to over 600 people from a variety, and because we were live and live streamed, we had participants from across the United States and some foreign countries. And so we're excited about one of the things that's come out of this pandemic is the opportunity to reach wider audiences of our alumni and our friends of nursing for important discussions of events like these. We also have had a concerted effort to make sure our faculty and staff, as our faculty really and administration, have been able to be very visible for the college at national meetings as we're getting back to being able to be in person again. These are some of the places we went over the past year. Some of our scholarly activities, we have increased faculty publications and presentations. Dr. Walsh's leadership faculty to make that happen. Increased faculty grant submissions, really looking at increased interprofessional collaborations on scholarly projects. We're continuing to increase our research and evidence-based practice with ProMedica and now again with UTMC. We do have a goal to increase our PhD researchers on faculty, and we added 2 this year, Dr. Sanchez and Dr. Singh, and so we're excited about the increased focus on research that they will help us to unfold. We've initiated goal-setting meetings with the Associate Dean for Research and Scholarship and the department chair, as well as for all of our new faculty, what we call launch committees, who include some senior faculty from the college, but also other senior faculty mentors from other colleges in the university who can really help them get their scholarship underway. We have another goal is to increase faculty national leadership and visibility, and we've been doing that. We have faculty in positions of leadership on regional and national committees, recipients of national awards, and we've very much encouraged our faculty and students to continue with presentations, whether virtual or live, to increase our visibility and our reach of our great work. We also have a focus, Dr. Walsh is also in charge of our continuing education endeavor now, and she's really been focusing on combined in-person and virtual modalities and really looking at increasing our reach of our continuing education opportunities. Just so you don't think we don't have any fun, I just wanted to include, we had an exciting we traditionally had like a potluck on our floor for our holiday party. And this year we weren't sure that was really a good plan to bring everybody together and sit in a room. So we decided to do something new and different. And we had a holiday party at the zoo lights at the Toledo Zoo. We invited our faculty and staff to bring their families. We had some nice hot chocolate, some appetizers. And it was really fun to see our faculty and our staff bring their kids and partners and to really have a great evening walking around the lights and seeing each other in a different way. So I think this is something we'll want to try to do more as we're able to get back and interact again with each other. In kind of non-academic, but still really important areas, we're working on increasing the visibility of the college on the campus, the state, regionally, nationally, internationally too. We are very fortunate to have our marketing communications recruitment specialist, Kristen Gartland. We, in the budget cut era, had to give up half of her time, and she now devotes herself between the College of Nursing and the College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. And we're both really fortunate to have her working with us. So she does a lot for us, including really managing our social media. You can find us on social media. My Dean Twitter account is @UToledo Nursing, so I try to post whatever we're doing of excitement and interest here in the college, so feel free to join that. We have really had a focus on having a much more coordinated marketing plan, upgrading our website, which we've really needed to do, looking at increasing our mailing list to schools of nursing, to alumni. And during the time of COVID, we had an internal monthly newsletter that really kind of helped each other keep in touch with each other and hear what was happening, not only professionally, but with people personally. We've kind of put that to bed for a little while, but it was a very important communication during the early part of the year. Ooh, this is a little tricky. In terms of alumni activities, we have a new alumni liaison, Kate Zanoni. She is taking over our duties with the Nursing Alumni Affiliate, and we are really in a renewal phase in the alumni board. So if some of you want to come and participate with us, we will be very happy to have your activities. I think I missed a couple slides here. This is sort of jumping around, so. We increased our development activities in the past 2 years. We've had Susan Wilson with us as our Director of Development. We're excited that she's helped us do a lot more fundraising and help us identify some folks interested in supporting the college. We had 2, for us, large gifts this year. Bonnie Nelson, who also works with us as a tutor, is incredible supporter of our students, and she has endowed a $25,000 scholarship. And then Linda A. Birch Scholarship, we're very pleased to have that in action too for the Birch family. So we are making some inroads. Hopefully Susan's going to be able to start some travel again, and we will really continue to work on expanding our donor base. Our annual giving person is our extraordinaire champion, Allie Burns. She's been working with us since I've been here, probably before. Her focus with us now, one of them is on the day of giving. Last year, we increased our amount to $8,133, hoping to go over the 10,000 mark this year. And so we hope you'll help us with that. Look forward to the Day of Giving on April 6th and 7th. We need some ambassadors to help us get the word out. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. And you can go on to #RocketForward too. That takes you to some more information apparently. We've had a lot more campaigns, a lot more letters. Some of you might have been getting our letters and our mails, direct mail, email, texting. We have phone-a-thon, so when our students call you, please, consider, you might want to give them a little bit of encouragement. And if you can't give, just send them some great greetings because they're all students and they're all really working hard for us. So we really appreciate Susan and Ellie and now Kate, who's coming on board with us. So these are just some of the things I thought I would share that I'm also involved in that's kind of allowed me to bring the scope of nursing in a much wider venue and really helped to identify some of the important roles that nurses can play in healthcare, not only in the campus, but also in the community. So some of our challenges and aspirations for the future to kind of wrap things up here. We're going to be focused on implementing the new budget model with a focus on managing growth in targeted programs, also on needed resources to support student and faculty success. So the new incentive budget model is going to help us to identify our revenues as well as expenses. All of our colleges are looking at faculty workloads, ways that we can continue to promote our faculty toward promotion and success, while we also really look at fiscally responsible activities, focusing on incentives that we can really look at to grow our college. Managing the challenges of enrollment growth, we have some competition down the pike there, and so we need to really look at how do we leverage not only our BSN programs, but also recoup some after the COVID surge dies down and really market our programs that are unique, that we have that other people don't, and to really highlight why come to University of Toledo. We have a lot of hidden benefits that we need to get better out there and really share about the amazing education that we do for our students here. We've had an increased focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our new Diversity and Inclusion Officer, Dr. Sharmita Gibbon. Did we skip over? I think we skipped over a slide that talked about our DNA, our Diversity Nurses Association. Sorry, this is like a bad little thing here. It kind of skips slides, but we're very excited that we have a new Diversity in Nursing Association for our students. Very active group of students who's helping us look at some important issues through discussions, town halls, etc. We also embarked on a very ambitious project with our faculty, doing a curriculum mapping of all of the content related to health disparities, diversity, equity, inclusion, and social determinants of health across all of our programs, undergraduate through doctoral. We have had faculty identifying what content do you teach in these areas, how long do you spend on it, what are the assignments that you give, how do you evaluate student learning in this area. It's a very comprehensive project, and we're kind of pulling all of that, wrapping that data gathering phase up. And our curriculum committee is taking the lead on this, of course. And we'll now be looking at meeting with the programs, having faculty really look at, okay, what areas are we missing? What areas are 3 people teaching, but nobody's teaching something else? Coordinating our content as well as leveling our objectives from our undergraduate, master's, up through doctorate. So we're excited about this project. We think it's vital right now to look at how are we educating our students about racial inequities, healthcare disparities, et cetera, social determinants of health. So we're pretty serious about having this as a thread in our curriculum. More challenges and aspirations. We continue to manage COVID, having to track vaccinations, to report to the clinical agencies who have CMS reporting responsibilities. We're really pleased at the response of our health science students, and we're doing a good job, I think, in helping to keep our community and our patients and our staff safe. We're looking at ways of increasing our interprofessional programs, courses, and collaborations, expanding our partnerships with ProMedica and with UTMC to not only to benefit our students, but also to benefit our clinical partners. So mutually beneficial partnerships are really the best kind, and that's what we're seeking to achieve. We're growing our alumni development and fundraising activities. I have a goal of developing a national external deans advisory board to help advise us on some directions for the future. And we also are really anxious to grow our study abroad and global outreach programs. We had a lot of momentum going on that before COVID hit, and we know that we're going to be able to get back to that again. It's just going to take us a little bit of time. So despite all the challenges, I know this was a long presentation, but we have a lot going on at the Toledo College of Nursing. We have a very bright future for our college, for our students, for our faculty, for our staff. I just want to express gratitude to all of you who have supported us, supported our students, been preceptors, been donors, been friends of our college in so many ways. We really rely on you. We are very proud of our students. We're proud of our college, our faculty, our staff. And I'll leave you on the note of our kind of bywords here, which is go Rocket Nursing. Please stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great year. Good evening.